In this episode, it is Super Bowl Sunday, and the truth has just come out. Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin. Tom, how could you? How could you? But you can't deflate these gains.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Test, Ickles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 639, or 39 for some of you, of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pumpcast, Jackcast, Nipplecast, and Coffeecast, and for today only, Super Bowl cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Welcome to episode 639. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Happy get yoked and fucking swole today like any other day, like we always do, because on the Daily Swole, for those that don't know, for those of you that might not be aware, and I have to make this a point because some of you might not be aware that on the Daily Swole, we get yoked every day from our head to our feet because Papa Swolio on the Daily goes balls deep. Knowledge fisting to the taint. I want to thank my sponsors of the Daily Swole, Everest and K2, flexing on you. Oh, today might have to be leg day. I mean, every day is leg day. Am I right or am I right? Mythical Mass this morning was awesome. Yeah, if you have not checked out my Instagram is blowing up because Papa Swolio is just going, I'm just literally taking my ball sack and just resting it on my phone when I go on Instagram. I'm literally just putting my balls all over Instagram. So I might need a new iPhone. On a side note, I might need a new iPhone just because it's getting a little bit sweaty, a little bit sticky. You know what I'm saying? But that's literally what I'm doing. Such good posts, such good content. The stories are awesome. The posts are awesome. A lot of knowledge over there. So if you're just following me on Facebook, if you're only following me on Facebook, big mistake. You're missing out. So, and likewise, because I'm posting great stuff on Facebook and there's awesome interaction here on the FB. So live, Instagram and Facebook. Remember, those of you that are not watching, you could always come back and watch. Check out the questions. If you're watching and you want to catch up on some episodes, make sure that you can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, and all the episodes are categorized and searchable on YouTube everywhere. 639, it's Super Bowl Sunday. I most likely will not be watching it because I don't dilly-dally in the trivialities of mortals. I have things to do rather than watch grown men throw around a little oblong-shaped piece of leather. That's just my thing. Oh, I want to watch the commercials. They're on YouTube already. Like, you can watch them now. You can really just streamline, just literally go watch the commercials. You don't have to. That's the great thing about the internet. You used to have to sit there and watch like 5 hours of fucking boring football, but now you can literally just watch the commercials in a YouTube video that someone else will make. That's it. Or like the company puts up themselves. You can really just streamline it and watch the commercials. Eric Dean, that's because the Browns didn't win a game. I don't like the Browns. I took those pictures with the Browns gear on because my best friend is a huge diehard Browns fan. So when I visit him, I put on like a Browns shirt and a Browns hat and I go to a Browns game. It's fun. Anyone that goes to it, I don't mind going to a football game because it's fun, the experience. You go and then you're there and the energy of the fans. And to be honest, there's a lot to be said for fans that even when the team literally sucks, like all the time, sells out like every game. I went to one of the Browns games. I think it was I don't think it was this year. It was last year, but it was sick. Just the energy, and it was just insane. And they were playing the Patriots. Everyone knew they're going to lose. Everyone knew they're going to get destroyed, but they went anyway and they were amped up. It was just the fucking fans were awesome. Just the energy was awesome. The energy was awesome. And I don't think it's like that for every sports team. I know that because I've gone to many games and many different types of sports, but if the fans are awesome, it's an awesome experience. So going is a whole different thing. I don't like sitting at home and just watching, because here's the thing when it comes to sports. And today is really just going to be I want to talk about recreational activities. I want to talk about playing sports. I want to talk about men, women. I want to talk about these even just running, doing things outside the gym, active rest, playing football, watching football. We're just gonna have this discussion today. And by the way, if you didn't know, on the board, Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin, by the way. So if anyone's into cryptocurrency, it's Tom Brady's fault, everyone. Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin. It was just released. I'm just reporting the news like I see it. I just reported Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin. What's with the waving on Instagram? Is that a new thing? Is that a new thing with this hand? Why is it? Or is that on my side only? It says someone joined. Wave? Can I wave on Instagram? What is it? I'm going to hit one of those things. Wave. All right, this is weird. Like I have to wave to people that comes in. Oh, you waved? Oh, that's weird. Why? Oh, I don't care. I'm not going to wave. What am I going to keep on tapping the phone? So apparently on Instagram Live, when someone joins in, I get to hit a button that says wave. Oh, I get to go hi to the people. I'm already doing that with my real hands. Good afternoon, Lynn. Eric Dean on Facebook. What's up? La Pola. Oy, Papacito Rico. Ha, okay. All right, one of those. Zachary, what's going on? Yeah, the dog pound is insane. I sat in the dog pound, and that's just like the hardcore diehards of the Cleveland Browns. They got like one of the worst teams, if not the worst team, and you have like the most diehard fans of the worst team. It was literally savage. It was fucking savage, like animals. It was awesome. Super cool. Jason Phillips, what up? So today is Super Bowl Sunday, of course. I got coffee all on my beard, I'm sure. And let's get some comments coming in for these recreational activities. So how many of you play, let's say, basketball? Now I'll talk about professional basketball because no one here does. But let's get a little survey going. How many of you play like flag football? How many of you play basketball? You go running. You play field hockey, you play soccer, you play some kind of, I'm going to call it a quote unquote sport, because really, in my opinion, a sport is, you're a professional or you don't play sports, you play games. If you're an adult and you're not getting paid for it, it's a game. But sport, like you're playing and all these activities. So you train Muay Thai. I don't know if that I'm really counting that. I'm kind of, just because you could put that down. I'm not sure if I'm really counting that. I get it. Baseball. Okay, I take my kids skating. Right, trampoline park. Cool. All right. So yeah, keep going like that. I mean, Muay Thai. That's kind of more like a fitness training, in my opinion. But I guess it all counts. So outside the gym, let's just do that. All right, we'll count it. Let's just do all that. You could put running down too, if that's all you do besides lifting weights. So instead of lifting weights and yoga, what do you do? Or put down. Yeah, everything you do besides like the norm, what we normally talk about. Don't put down corrective exercise, skateboard and BMX. Yeah, let's get a little feel for what everyone else does. Because today is pretty much a holiday. The Super Bowl is pretty much a holiday because of the food and everyone. I don't know how it turned into it. The NFL, I'm really disgusted with the NFL and how they handle shit. So I don't really pay too much attention to what the NFL does. And I think it is on the decline in recent years, if I'm not mistaken. But the fact that the Super Bowl has become like a national holiday, right? You have specials, you have sales, what are you doing for Super Bowl Sunday? People that never watch football, right? People that never watch football. They don't care at all. They don't watch. They don't do anything. They have a Super Bowl party, or they go to a Super Bowl party, or someone that has a Super Bowl party, and you go and you eat shit. So today is actually probably international, or national at least, National Shit Eating Day, where everyone just eats garbage for no reason to watch grown men make a ton of money and play foosball. I play pencil breaks. Pencil breaks. Sounds like self-defense. Hiking and biking, snowboarding, cycling, running from what? Running from what? All right, so rock climbing, hiking, snowboarding. All right, so we got a lot of people that do, of course, winter. Snowboarding is great if you live up north. Hiking, biking. So all these other activities, football included, there's chaos there. So one of the benefits, and let's compare this a little bit, one of the benefits of lifting weights, one of the many benefits, of course, you could build muscle, there's aesthetics, there's strength, it's good for your hormones, it's good for sugar absorption, blah, 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 and fat metabolism and maintenance of body weight and functionality, strength, mobility. So there's a lot of benefits for lifting weights. But what's interesting about lifting weights, and one of the reasons why it's important to do it properly, is because lifting weights, and I would say yoga too, it's because it's very repetitious and it's very, I don't want to say necessarily low impact, but it's very controlled. It's a controlled environment. So you have a certain type of form, you have a certain way you do things, you can do a controlled movement. It's more controlled. There isn't a lot of random movements that are intentional. Can you still get injured in the gym? Absolutely. Float some sad faces. I don't think you can float sad faces. But if you've gotten, no, don't float sad faces. Facebook's gonna think that you hate this broadcast. But obviously you can get hurt in the gym. You get overuse injuries in the gym. You get tendonitis. You can tear things. You can pop things. You can get hurt in the gym. There's no question about it. With other activities, there's a lot of chaos. When you're snowboarding, there's a ton of chaos. Is there a rock in the snow? Is there a stick? Is someone going to come out of nowhere from another trail and cut you off and come out of nowhere? So there's a lot of random movements that are possible. Cycling, you're out in the road. There could be a pothole. There could be a car that veers too far to the side of the road. Running, you step on a ditch. There's uneven ground. So there's a lot of chaos when you go out in the world. And with football and with basketball, even though it's the same sport, there's the same intention. You're trying to get the ball in the plays, you're trying to get the ball in the hole, and all these, the goal is the same. Every little step, there's a little bit of a difference. There's chaos. There's the ability for other things to happen. So the more chaotic of a sport, the more chaotic of your activity that you do outside of lifting, the greater the risk. Now, if you're only lifting, and the reason why I promote strength training, all right? How many of you do yoga? Because everyone knows that are watching, if you've watched me for more than a week, I preach about yoga all the time. Yoga is a huge part of Swolenormous X, my private membership platform. Yoga is a huge part of my life, and a lot of you that are watching, yoga is huge. So yoga, the reason why I feel that yoga and bodybuilding, yoga and strength training are really the best two things to combine, the yin and the yang, essentially, of body movement and force production and balance and lengthening, mobility, all that stuff, is because they're controlled and they work in all ranges of motion, all planes of motion. And the planes of motion are three and different combinations of the 3 planes of motion. So you have the ability for your body and for your joints to do 3 things essentially, and then different degrees and different combinations of those 3 things. You can move front to back, which is called the sagittal plane. You could move side to side, like move my arms out to the side, which is frontal plane, which is obviously sounds weird, but side to side is frontal and front to back is sagittal. And you can also move transversely, either known as the transverse plane or the horizontal plane. So there's 3 ways you can move. And those 3 ways need to be trained properly. You need to be exposed to those 3 planes of motion properly, because if you don't, then your joints, your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles don't get exposed to those ranges, to those movements. And if you're not trained in a specific movement to turn a certain way, to rotate a certain way, under load or otherwise, your body's not exposed to it. All of a sudden you do that in real life in one of these chaotic sports or activities, or you bend down and twist to pick up your wallet or a pen or your child or your dog, and then all of a sudden, pop, your knee blows out, you hurt your back. And most injuries, if you didn't know it already, most injuries occur in the transverse, in that twisting plane. So you're bending forward and turning a little bit to pick something up, or you're twisting suddenly, or you're looking over your shoulder to look out the back window of your car when you're backing up or whatever. But rotation is where most injuries take place. ACL tears, you're twisting in your knee, doesn't come with you. And it doesn't mean that if you train in the transverse plane, you train with rotation movements, doesn't mean that you're never going to get hurt. It just minimizes your risk because it exposes your body. Remember that your body is an adaptation machine. Your body adapts. It adapts. So if you expose your body to certain things, it will adapt to those certain things if it's exposed regularly. Make sense? Are we all together here? Float some hearts, float some thumbs, like, share. Just do something to let me know that you're alive. Okay? It's important to keep doing that during the show because I can't see you. And I definitely want to know if everyone's with me and everyone's on the same page. If you're not floating hearts on Instagram, if you're not floating hearts and thumbs on Facebook, I think some of you are just kind of like sleeping with a phone on, which is cool too. But if I say something, you're like, fuck yeah, Papa Swole, smash that button. Because remember, you can see Papa Swole. You can see the beard. It's probably taking up your whole widescreen. But I can't see you. So I want to make sure that you're alive and you're digging the content, you're on point, we're all together now. So if you're not training in those different planes of motion, you're at risk. So those of you that hike, those of you that do snowboarding, those of you that, I don't know, swim, run, all those activities that you listed before on Instagram and Facebook, those activities will put you at risk if you don't train for them. Like you should also do strength training for them. It's not as simple as just going, oh, I'm get better at basketball. I'm just going to play basketball. Those are impact sports. Those are impact sports with quick movements. For example, basketball is quick accelerations, quick deceleration. So a lot of force overload in a short period of time. You're stopping really hard. Can your ankle handle it? Can your knee handle it? Are you going to blow your knee out because you stopped too quick when you tried to pivot? Golf. Golf is when someone just listed golf. Golf is one of the most injurious sports or games or activities. I'm still hesitant to call it a sport. Now, golf is, and actually that's a perfect example. I'm glad you brought it up. No, golf is very challenging. I'm not going to joke about golf like that, but when it comes to injuries, let's use golf for the prime example. So most people that play golf, and let's be honest, most people that play golf are not pro golfers. Most people that play golf do not lift weights regularly. Most people that play golf do not do physical activity regularly. Hell, one of the most popular things to do is to go get drunk and drink beer on a golf course while you're golfing, like drink alcohol while you're playing the quote sport. Any sport you could drink during is kind of questionable that it's actually a sport. Let's be honest. You can't drink alcohol and play basketball. You can, but you'll fucking hurl. So any sport, quote, that you can drink alcohol during, not sure. Not sure. We can have that debate. Does that count as a sport because you could drink alcohol and still play really well? So golf, you have people, what? You have the weekend warriors. You have the guys in the office, the CEOs, the people that sit in a chair at a desk all day, 5 fucking days a week or 6 days a week. They go out to the golf course on Sunday and then over and over again, they rotate and twist on their knees and their hips and their back and their shoulders and their neck at a high torque with weight. They take a big long metal stick and let it pull them in a fast with accelerating and decelerating movement in a transverse plane, the most injurious plane, and they do that repeatedly for 4 hours on a Sunday randomly, and they go home. And they only do this one direction. They don't switch hands. They don't switch lefty, righty. They hit the same way they always do. And people fucking hurt their knees, hurt their back, shoulders all the time playing golf because of the comparison, because this doesn't take, this is the big difference from what I'm saying. It's from people that play golf and people that are good at golf. And if you want to compete at a high level, they do strength training. They do a lot of training. They practice. They take it super seriously. Of course, you have to if you want to be that good. But you can play golf. You can do this activity. You can do this extremely high-risk activity. They don't require you to have a golf license before you take out a golf cart and go swing a club. You can be terrible. You can go play golf. You can sit on your ass 6 days out of the week and then go play golf on Sunday. And you don't have to be good, but you can still go do these high-risk movements. And I think most people underestimate how high risk golf is, especially when you're not doing a lot of stuff during the week. And there's a lot of stuff like that, rock climbing or hiking, people that are weekend warriors that sit a lot, that don't do yoga, corrective exercise, so their hips are tight, everything's tight, and then they go do a lot of chaotic dynamic movement in all planes of motion on the weekend, and then they get hurt eventually. They get tendonitis, they get injuries. So just something to be aware of, fam, that you need to start training, you need to complement your activities. And what happens, in my opinion, is that the majority of folks, you treat those activities like, okay, that's exercise. That's what I'm doing for an activity. And they don't realize, and you don't realize, that you actually have to train for your activity in order to prevent injury for your activity. And strength training and yoga can be organized, it can be targeted, it can be specific towards the movements that you will do in your activity. So really, fitness and training and strength training and practicing is the foundation for any kind of activity you do. When you're lifting weights, when I'm lifting weights today, when I'm going to go get my fucking sick motherfucking pump on and smash some stems, when you're lifting weights today, you're really just practicing lifting weights. You're practicing lifting weights. I'm practicing putting stress on certain muscle groups. I'm practicing putting stress on my core. I'm practicing targeting my glutes or my quads. You're practicing lifting. And the moves that you do, your body will respond to. And if you practice the same ones over and over again and you create imbalances, you can have injuries and pain and bad things. If you practice well and you practice well-rounded movements with different muscles and you balance out the length of the muscle around the joints and improve mobility and so forth, then you'll have less risk of injury and you'll be healthier for longer. So any kind of repetitive movement, any kind of high risk that's not, there's not that base support that you're not training for, you're not preparing yourself for, just be aware that these random movements or these activities that are high in chaos can cause a lot of injury. And if you're not preparing for them, and if you're not doing strength training to protect yourself from these chaotic movements and these random events, because when you're playing a sport, you're playing against other people. And something can happen. Someone can cut you off or someone can guard you differently and try to fake you out. You're playing basketball or flag football. And then every move is different. Every moment is different. It doesn't take more than just a split second of you turned too quickly or you didn't lift your foot enough because you're wearing the wrong shoes and you're playing casually. Just don't underestimate how out of shape you are for the activity you're doing if you don't do specific training for that. And that's not to scare any of you, but a lot of you, how many of you have gotten, let's do this before we start taking some questions. What is your experience? How many of you have gotten injured? How many of you have gotten injured playing one of these sports or these activities that you mentioned? Okay. How many of you have gotten injured doing that? I'm just going to reach for something over here. How many of you have gotten injured doing one of these hiking, snowboarding activities? So while we're here and while I have all of you that are on Facebook too. So if you're watching on Instagram, here's what I want all of you to do today. Hook up all Papa Swolio. And even if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, make sure if you're able to leave a review where you watch or listen or catch the Daily Swole, please do so. If you're watching on Facebook, Instagram doesn't have this option, but if you could, head on over to my Facebook page, Swolenormous, and leave a review on my Facebook page. If you have not yet done it, I would really appreciate it. If you could, give a couple sentences for some feedback. I really appreciate all of it. So if you love the show and you're enjoying and you're picking up what I'm putting down here and you have not yet left a Facebook review or an iTunes review, wherever you can leave a review, please do so. So you can leave reviews on iTunes. I know you can leave reviews here on my Facebook page. On Instagram, I don't think you can leave a review. You can leave an awesome comment on one of my posts. I just dropped a cool one today, so you could do that. But also, if you don't mind, head on over to Facebook, because pretty much everyone has Facebook, whether you use it frequently or not, and drop a review. I would love to check it out. I love getting the feedback. I love knowing what you like about the show, my content, what you've learned, if you've had great success by implementing anything that I've been talking about here on the show, and you've seen, wow, I lost 30 pounds since I put in some of your strategies in the gym. I want to know about it. Drop me a review, give me an honest review, whatever it is. And if you can, just do that on Facebook. If you can do that today, that'd be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. Let's take some questions about the injuries. Let's see, sprained my ankle when I used to run. Let me raise the brightness on my phone here on Facebook. This is for you too, Instagram. If you have any injuries from what these activities, my shoes were slick and the ground was froze, blown discs, high school wrestling. Eric Dean, yeah, last time playing flag football, pulled my groin a little and my hips were sore from twisting and running because of fruit. Yeah. Kerry Rudolph many, many times. Knee injury while running. Tyler Hebert. Wesley Wilder. I hurt my back during the Spartan race and had to have surgery. Most will go clean. Most will go clean I've had in my life. Will go clean. I'm sure that's probably a spell correct. Better late than never that I'm here. Yeah, you are. Let's see. Jason Phillips. Strength training in golf was never talked about until Tiger Woods said it was part of his training. I remember that. I remember no one ever mentioned it. And then people were like, oh my God, Tiger benches 315. It's like, or whatever it was. I feel Tiger's return to golf brings back fitness to the sport. Yeah, he made it popular. He made it popular with the weight training. I wonder why he was so good. I wonder. Golf, the only sport to promote drinking and driving a cart. Kerry Rudolph on Facebook. I initially returned to the gym to get upper body strength back after a car accident so I can get back to surfing. Then I fell in love with powerlifting. Now I just got to get my ass back to the ocean to test out all the strength that I've built. Do you think because you're so swole now, Kerry, that you're going to step on that surfboard and then boom, you're just going to sink? Too swole? Too swole for the ocean? Too swole for H2O. Ooh, I like that. It's a good surfing shirt. Trademark it. Too swole for H2O. Tiny Fury. My rock climber on Instagram. When I started climbing, I only climbed once a week. After I got hooked, I started climbing 3 days a week, climbing in different styles, doing yoga, resistance training, and now I climb 6 days a week. The only way you can climb 6 days a week is by training and preparing your body. If you're not balancing out your fingers and your forearms, you're going to get tendonitis easily from overuse. So yeah, if you're doing the right stuff, you can increase. And fam, if you're doing the right things, I don't think I just came out of the walls and just started lifting like crazy. You start light. You're starting light or you're experimenting. But I started lifting the right way. And I think I'm a lot more fortunate. And also, I'm also going to pat myself on the back for being a lot more intelligent than the majority ever since I started lifting in high school and in college. I was such a stickler for form. Not getting hurt and, training hard like crazy, but fucking always doing it right. And a lot of people just do it fucking wrong. And they don't even, you could tell they just don't care. They never even looked at a book or they just never looked at how to do it. Because some of the shit that I see in the gym, there's no way that person could have ever researched or Googled or even taken a look at a picture or a video of anyone doing that exercise. Because I see shit in the gym that I've never seen or I would never have thought of to do with some of these machines. Like, who the fuck thinks of some of this shit? It's amazing. It's like someone stood there and looked at a machine and thought, now how could I do this as incorrect and as retardedly as possible? Like, how could I look like such a fucktard doing this exercise? No, I don't want to do a pec fly, a pec deck. I'll tell you what. Let me roll forward onto my coccyx and pick my feet up and make it like kind of like a fly press for my legs. Let me do that. And they'll do it. But what the hell is that? What the fuck? Some people just really do some weird stuff. I sprained my ankle when I used to run. Tyler, vertebrae issues developed as a result of imbalance created for that. Most pain I've ever had in my life. Wesley, we're following up for some other comments. When you hurt your back during the Spartan race, that is probably one of the big ones. The Spartan races, the Warrior Dash, all of those mud runs and those obstacle course races, because I have a lot of messages of people that I'm training for my first Spartan race. It's like, what do you suggest? I don't know. I mean, they have you fucking climb a wall and throw a spear. What do you think? How the fuck are you going to practice that? If you don't want to do one of the obstacles, you got to do 30 burpees. You got to do 30 burpees if you don't do the obstacle. What the fuck is with burpees? Down, up. Okay. You know why? Because you're going to be exhausted because you're putting your heart below your body, up, down. You're just exhausting people and then acting like, you're a Spartan now because you do burpees. Climb through this, climb a rope, climb this pancake, or carry this bucket up a hill. You can't train for that, except you're doing that shit. Except if you're training that way. And training for a Spartan race is the quickest way to get hurt, even before the Spartan race. They have training courses now for obstacle races. Yeah, training courses. You can get hurt during a training course. I don't know, man. I've done one of those before. I used to like trail running for a little bit. And it was literally just, I got really into it for a season and then, all right, I'm done. I did a couple mud run or the obstacle course, done. Just bored. They're all the same. Fucking, you've done one. Literally, you've done one. You've done them all. We could have another episode on that. And I'm not knocking anyone that does it. I understand. I know what the fun it can be. It's a rush and, oh, you're having fun. But it's like, it's just a jungle gym for adults. It's a jungle gym for adults, and a lot of people get hurt. I mean, hey, if that's your passion and you fucking love it more than anything, then good. But just still understand that you have to train for it. You have to balance yourself out. You have to prepare for all that chaos because it's so easy to fucking tear something. And I'm trying to keep my body intact. I'm trying to keep my body intact and be mobile and functional for as long as I can. And you're going to have other people that have the opinion like, oh, well, you live once, I'm going to fucking live it all. That's fine. I mean, if you really enjoy it, that's fine. Like, there are people that love painting pictures and I would like fucking want to hang myself. I painted a picture for more than like 30 seconds. Like, all right, I'm bored. I'm bored coloring in this tree. So you can like anything. So if you love those obstacle course races, cool. That's fine. But just understand, especially for those of you that don't love obstacle course racing more than anything in the world, and you're going to go do one, realize that even though you can handle the strength portions of it, that it's still a lot of random shit and divots and holes. And all of a sudden, I've heard so many stories of people stepping into a ditch that kind of like the mud wore away the ground and their leg went in and they fucking blew out their meniscus and ACL and all these fucking problems. Like Wesley with his back. It's just, there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk, especially if you don't do it regularly. People that do it all the time, all right, you know what to expect. Your body has survived, so chances are you'll be good. But it's the people that, hey, I'm 100 pounds overweight. I'm trying to lose 100 pounds before my Spartan race in May. What should I do? It's like, fuck, not run. First off, you should not be running, and you should, those are the people that I'm concerned about. Because they already have extra weight, their joints are already weak, they already have a lot of pressure and Q angle and knee valgus because their feet are flattening because of years of underuse and deactivated glutes and deconditioning. So it's those people that are really at risk, the ones that have never done it, that are losing weight as like a challenge. Like, I'm going to do it with my team or all right. So people just get fucking hurt. They don't realize that they're so deconditioned. Oh, I used to do cross country in high school. High school was 12 fucking years ago. You're a 30-year-old female. You're a 30-year-old adult male. High school wasn't fucking yesterday, Mochambo. Right? I get so many of those messages. Oh, well, I played this in high school. I don't give a fuck. Oh, I did this in college. I don't give a shit. How old are you? It's like you're 45. What the fuck does college or high school have anything to do with it? That's literally a human being's adult lifetime ago. If you're 45 and you're talking about something you did in college, holy shit, you are living in a delusional world of the past. Like 25 years ago, you're gonna think that your body is maintaining just because you have a vague memory of doing an activity. Oh, it's muscle memory. No. Muscle memory doesn't last 2 decades. It doesn't last a decade. You'll have a memory, you might have some coordination, but you's gonna be nowhere close. Nowhere close. How many of you have taken fucking like a month off from lifting? You ever take a month off from lifting, you go back to the gym and you lift and you're like crippled sore? You still kind of maintain the same amount of strength, but you're just, oh my God. That's how you feel all the time. You adapt to that soreness. You adapt to that pain. Imagine 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Well, I used to wrestle in college. I used to wrestle in high school. What, in the fucking 80s? Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Stupid assholes. If that's you, you're a stupid asshole. It's literally like you're describing me. I love these responses. Just realize how fucking out of it you really are. Let's see, Tyler. It's like saying you are really healthy to it's like saying you ate really healthy a couple years ago. Has no bearing on the current. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, I ate healthy last week. So, you ever hear the phrase, you're only as good as your last at bat? Right? And I mentioned this the other day when you have these news anchors that slip like a racial slur or they say the wrong thing to the wrong person in an interview and their whole like illustrious 30 or 40 year career just gets tarnished and they get like fucking sent to Alaska or sent to the North Pole to read the weather, right? They just get run out of town. Like that, their last at bat, they struck the fuck out. And same thing with all of you. You're really only as good as your last at bat. You could be, I'm in shape, I eat all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then you go and do a Spartan race and you blow out your ankle. Oh, shit. Well, you've done all those things. Now you have a fucked up ankle. So what now? Now you're injured. So you're only as good. Doesn't mean you're a waste of space. Doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. It doesn't mean you're only as good. So now you're injured forever. It just means that you have to keep on actively assessing and reassessing your body. So if I'm in the gym, and if you have any more questions, now's the time to drop it before we head out. If I'm in the gym and I feel any kind of pain or tendonitis or ache or like a little twinge, look, I'm lifting in the gym all the time. I'm also sedentary. I'm here. I'm standing. I'm in one position a lot. I do a lot of repetitive movement. I am sedentary a lot. You know, I'm on a ball and I do stretch a lot, but still, I'm not up all the time. I'm not standing all the time. So I'm aware of that. So anytime I feel these little warning signs that my body will tell me, like a pinch or a little ache or something, you have to listen to your body when you have those aches, when you have those feelings. That's your body telling you something. So if I feel like a little ache in my knee, for example, maybe a little tendonitis coming on or a little pinch, that's my body. For me, that's my body telling me, you got to do more yoga, bro. So I'll back off on the weights, or I'll drop the intensity. I'll go a little higher rep and I'll put a band around my lower thighs and I'll do more glute activation. I'll work on more glutes at the gym. I'll do more kickbacks on the glute machine. I'll do hip bridges. I'll do single legs. I'll do some more deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, things like that. So I'll do maybe more glute-oriented activity and kind of back off the squats and things for a day and shift gears and focus more, because my body's telling me that, hey, maybe your hip flexors are getting a little tight, your glutes are getting a little deactivated, you didn't stretch enough this week. Okay, so I back off, but you always have to be listening and reassessing. You always got to be assessing and reassessing, and don't be prideful. Don't be prideful. Don't be too prideful to go into the gym and do a stabilization workout or do some kind of like balance routine. That, like, for example, those of you that are in Swolenormous X, you know about my total body awareness workouts, you know about the yoga, the mobility, the single leg stuff. All those things are really important for activating the glutes and for turning those stabilizers on and activating the core and turning the core on. So let's finish up with a couple of questions, just putting it out there that it's important to always be assessing and reassessing. Matt Lediel played a pickup game of flag football once with the guys from work, had not done any kind of stop and go work in 12 years. Next day, it felt like my lower joints were about to fall apart. Dumb. And unfortunately, you don't realize that you feel great until the next day, and it could be too late. You just don't want to be that, oh, I should have thought about this before. Why didn't I think about it? Oh, that was stupid. You have to look ahead. It's like McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell. It's like fucking Taco Bell. It might look good at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m, but you know, there's no part about it that makes it a good decision. Nothing about it. It's fucking bad for you. You're going to be on the toilet shitting your face out. It's just bad. There's nothing good about it. You know deep down. You just got to listen to those instincts. Like, there's nothing good about this. There's nothing good about that decision. Carrie Rudolph, OMG, oh my God. I'm 40 now, and I'm always freaking out that I've seriously injured myself. But that's where my coach and my chiropractor come into play. What, they say, nope, you're fine. Stop whining. Shut up, you're fine. Shut up, Carrie. Put on another plate. Don't drink water. Water's for pussies. I'm just fucking with you. No water. Water's for babies. Oh, you're drinking water because you're weak. Remember like those coaches like in football, you did 2 a days, and in the 80s and 90s, if you drank water, you're looked at as weak. It's a human function. You need it for hydration. And it used to be, oh, no water. No, you have to finish these drills first. Fucking thirsty, man. It's 95 degrees and it's humid. I'm on like a tropical island, like people in Florida not allowing you to drink water. Now everyone's afraid of getting sued and people dying and shit like that and ending up on fucking Fox News or CNN that probably water breaks every 13 seconds. Matt Lediel, corrective exercise for lateral epicondylitis. Lateral epicondylitis in the elbow, I'm assuming. Yeah, get one of those TheraBars and do some eccentric work on your forearm extensors. Chances are your flexors are too tight and it's pulling the tendon for the forearm extensors against your lateral epicondyle. I have episodes on that. If you look up, I have that on. I have that in. I believe I have that in my private Facebook group here for those of you that are Swolenormous X members or Classic Premium members. I think I also have a video on that. I think I did that on a Daily Swole once. You could look it up. You can also message me if you have questions on that. But the TheraBars are great for forearm recovery. Jason Phillips, listening to your body is the best thing you can get. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. All right, fam, thank you so much. Validus Branham. I love that name. Validus. Is that how you pronounce it? Validus. Like Maximus. I think you have to read that literally like you're getting announced into the Coliseum from Gladiator. Validus Branham. Schwarzenegger said, milk is for babies. Milk is for babies. When you get older, you have to drink beer. In pumping iron, yeah, I'm well aware. I'm well aware of pumping iron. I literally, in college, literally, when I fell in love with bodybuilding, I literally watched that every single night before I went to bed. It was always on in my room, every single night in summer. I've literally, that's the only movie. You know, when you ask someone, or someone has seen a movie so many times, like, oh man, I've seen the movie 1,000 times. I've seen the movie 100 times. And they've probably seen it 3 times or 5 times or once. I've literally watched Pumping Iron well over 100 times. I don't think 200. Just think of how many times that is to watch a movie. Maybe 100 or 200 at the most, but literally hundreds of times. Super Bowl prediction before you go. Well, I can actually accurately, do you know I can actually predict something 100% about the Super Bowl? Is that 100% chance of me not giving a fuck who wins. And probably about a 95% chance that I won't even turn it on for 3 seconds. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. And anyone that thinks that Tom Brady is not going to win is a fool. Yeah, Patriots will win. I haven't watched a single game all season. I don't know any of the stats. I don't know any of the players except for Tom Brady, and he's going to win. So, but just so you know, and just a reminder, anyone that didn't show up early enough and didn't see the board behind me, Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin. So if you're holding cryptocurrency, Tom Brady, you fucking asshole, let it back up, Tom. Let Bitcoin go, Tom. You listening, Tom? Son of a bitch. The one who scores the most wins. Okay, John Madden. Well, I think that when you get in the end zone, when you're in the paint, you make the points, and the team that does the most that is going to win the day. Now, fucking that guy. Just Captain Obvious. Just like the reincarnation of Captain Obvious. Fucking now when they catch the ball, that's a good thing. And if they do it in the end zone, the team that catches the ball in the end zone, well, they have a good chance of winning the ball game. Okay. All right. Yeah. And they're all wearing helmets. Now, if their helmets are on their head, who knows? All bets are off. What? All right. Ooh, is it dripping? Oh, yeah. The flavor saver. The good thing about drinking coffee with a huge mustache, like I said, it's a food assistant, but it leaves the flavor. So later on the day, I can just smell my upper lip, and it just smells like bulletproof coffee. It's just fucking happiness all over my face. You got to score if you want to win. Yeah. Fucking John Madden. Leave your John Madden quotes below. If you don't know who John Madden was, that's where the video game name of famous sports announcer. Was he a coach? Was he a player back in the 1800s probably? Nah, but just super famous in fucking football, like legend, but just the most obvious comments. Just the most obvious comments all the time. He's not still doing stuff. Is he still live? I don't follow. That's how little I follow football. You need a Mad Viking mug. Keep your mustache dry. Oh, it has one of those mustache lips. I don't know, but I like it. I like the process of this. So everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Get your pump on. Get your pump on before. Go watch the Super Bowl. Go unplug if you must. But make sure you throw shit at the TV because Tom Brady deflated Bitcoin. It's a fact. It's known. And if Tom Brady wins, maybe he'll be nice enough just to kind of let it come back. Release your stronghold. Come on. Tom Brady's a whale. We all know it. And if those of you that aren't in the crypto game, you have no idea what I just said. But anyway, Anywho, enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy your pump today. I'm going to smash some stems. Make sure if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. If you're listening to the podcast, SoundCloud, and iTunes, thank you so much for tuning in. And those of you that are watching on YouTube later on. But if you have not yet, the theme for today is to leave Papa Swole a review either on Apple Podcast, on iTunes, and also here on Facebook. So if you can, take a moment right when we come off here. Ooh, hiccups, coffee burps. If you have not yet left me a Facebook review, I would very, very, very much appreciate you dropping some words and how the Daily Swole, how my content has helped you, so your experience, what you like about it. If you don't want to write anything, you just want to hit a star, that's fine too. But I really do appreciate it. I try to answer every single response and every single sentences and words that you leave for those Facebook reviews and stuff like that, because I really do appreciate it. I'm more than happy, and I'm looking forward to doing some more shout outs for those reviews on the Daily Swole, give you some throwbacks. And stay tuned in this next week or so. I'm going to be doing some awesome contests and some cool giveaways. So a lot of good stuff coming here on the Daily Swole. So thank you so much, fam, for joining me for episode 639. We're in the 640s tomorrow. Time flies. Holy 700's coming up. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for 639 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast in the realm. Because Papa Swole flexes with you. Because when you flex, I flex. We all flex our biceps. Peace, my geese. Deuce, my goose. Papa Swole out.